All right, now can you bow your heads for prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Please help our speaker to speak the right words to reach who he is speaking to, and please help this graduation to go excellent. In your name, amen.
The class verse is Romans 1-5. Through him we received grace and apostleship to call all the Gentiles to the obedience that comes from faith for his name's sake.
We chose this class verse because we received God's grace in abundance, because we are so thankful for that grace. We want to do our best to show others Jesus' love. We want to be disciples for Jesus.
Our speaker today is someone who teaches about God and his worship and through his action, he is always there to support us. He is kind and he's a kind individual and always willing to help us. Pastor Isaac. Before I begin, I would like to thank all of you for coming this evening. We're so happy that we're still able to have a graduation, even if it is a bit different than what is traditionally done, but that's okay. Virus or no virus, we've still accomplished so much this year. And we couldn't have done it with all of you extraordinary people that are sitting in the audience right now. Without you, none of this would be possible. And I want to thank you for everything you have done for helping us along the way. Our families have always been there for us whenever we needed them, and they helped us to overcome whatever obstacle, great or small, that was put in front of us. They have also been there to celebrate with us when something good happened. Graduates, today is a very special day. We get to celebrate because something good happened. And we're in luck because we have all these people who love us and support us to celebrate with. Our parents, grandparents, teachers, and our friends. They are all extremely proud of you. I want to thank our teachers as well. Every single day of the week, they come to school to teach us something new. But it goes far beyond that. They spend countless hours outside of school as well as in school, encouraging us to do our absolute best. They plan fun things for us to do, and they're always there if we need someone to talk to or just be there to listen. We would not be where we are without the help and guidance of our teachers. I can't even imagine how annoying we all must be at times, but they still care about us, and we care about them too. Our teachers have taught us things like math and grammar, but they've also taught us things about the world and about life. And not only that, they have brought us closer to God. Graduates, we have all been through so much together. I love spending time with all of you and just having so much fun together. We all support each other in the things that we do, and we have so much that we can learn from one another. Something we learned through our journey is that everyone deserves a second chance. When given a second chance, the person is able to learn from what they did and fix their mistake, just how we are given a second chance through our Lord Jesus. Another thing we learned is to always be kind. Being selfish or rude never benefits anyone. No one is perfect, but when you're kind, your character reflects it, and people around you will see God through you. Every person has their own talents and traits. Some people are good listeners, some are outgoing and make friends easily, and some people simply know how to make someone smile. And when those people are together, they bring out the best in each other. Together, we fought through the bad days so we could enjoy the good days to the greatest extent possible. There have obviously been days where maybe we all didn't get along, but in the end, the friendships that we have here at JAMS are going to last a lifetime, and I'm sure of that. So congratulations to all the graduates and to everyone else who helped us attain our goals and be here today.
This might be one of the few times that the students have really looked forward to coming up to the microphone, because you get to take the mask off. So I was looking forward to it as well. You know, you're here tonight, and I'm glad you're here. Each of the graduates are extremely glad that you're here. This message, though, because we're here for the graduates, I'm going to be turning and speaking to the graduates quite a bit. I just wanted to let you know that, because I'm going to be speaking primarily to the graduates. Glad you're here to listen in, though. And I'd like to read that verse again that they chose. I read it through a number of the translations, and I settled on this one because it really speaks to what Paul is trying to convey when he's talking to the church in Rome. He says, it's Romans chapter 1, verse 5, and I'm reading from the Living Bible translation. It says, and now, through Christ, all the kindness of God has been poured out upon us, undeserving sinners. And now he's sending us out around the world to tell all the people everywhere the great things that God has done for them, so that they too will believe and obey him. You know, the graduates have put a lot of work into being here tonight, today, and accomplishing what they've accomplished. Now, granted, the parents have put a lot of work in too. I'm a parent myself, so I know you guys have put a lot of work into your graduates to get them here tonight. And the teachers, I don't even want to begin there. I mean, they've had to completely revamp everything they have done now for the past few months and change the way they're doing school entirely. So that's been a huge challenge, but they have risen to it and done it excellently. So I am proud of our teachers. I'm proud of our parents. But tonight, I am especially proud of you guys, graduates. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm thankful that we can... Oh, you know what? Hang on. Since we're here at this moment, I know that you guys are proud of your graduates too. If you're sitting in your vehicles and you feel like honking the horn or yelling or stomping your feet or cheering, go for it. See, that's not something we usually get to do inside the sanctuary, so I figured let's make a little noise. I am very thankful that we can gather together for this graduation. As Isabella said, this is very different than any other graduation we've ever gathered together for, but we can get together for this. Very thankful for that. I'm sure this is a graduation that you guys will never forget. I don't really remember my 8th grade graduation because it was nothing like this. Also, I have problems with memory, but it was nothing like this. You guys will never forget this, no matter how old you get. This is a graduation that, unlike any I've ever been to or seen in my life. Now, because we're not outside, we don't have the luxury of air conditioning, although I'm very thankful for the cloud cover, right? And the temperature has been very nice today. But I'm not going to make this very long either, since no AC. But back to the talk. Graduates, I'm going to be speaking a lot to you tonight right now. Okay? How many of you remember the movie franchise by the name of Mission Impossible? Does that ring a bell for any of you? You guys way down on the end. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, okay, Mission Impossible. I don't know how many there are now, but there's quite a few. 5, wow. It's getting up there close to the Rocky count there. I figured most of you would have heard of it with Tom Cruise and all. Did you know that there was a popular TV show by the same name many, many years ago? Did you guys ever hear of that? It's pretty old, you know, but as the case is with many of movies that redo an old TV show, sometimes there isn't very much similarity between them, other than the name, the title. Except with Mission Impossible, there was one thing that they got exactly the same as the TV show. I'm going to share that with you. There was a certain phrase that every single time the Mission Impossible leader, the one who kind of led the team, every time he got a new mission, this phrase would come up in the TV show. And it was exactly the same in the movie as well. Basically, he would get this secret mission directive, and at the beginning of each message, it would be delivered in different ways, but at the beginning of each message, it would begin with this phrase, "This is your mission, should you choose to accept it." You guys familiar with that from the movies? All right. Yeah, and then it would self-destruct in various ways, creative ways. You know, when I read the verse that you guys chose, that's kind of what I thought of. I thought of that, and you know the theme music from Mission Impossible, right? You can't hardly forget that. That's what kind of rolled through my mind as I was reading this verse. And I want to read it one more time, because we're going to talk about it for just a few minutes, and I want it fresh in our minds, okay? Your minds. And now through Christ, all the kindness of God has been poured out upon us, undeserving sinners. And now he's sending us out around the world to tell all the people everywhere the great things God has done for them, so that they too will believe and obey. Now, perhaps what isn't immediately recognizable is that Paul is really hammering home the thought, the idea of humility. That's not something that you think of as soon as you read this, but he really is. You see, he recognizes that no one, none of us, not me, not you, no one is deserving of the kindness of God, except every single one of us receives it. An endless supply receives the kindness of God through Jesus. And then, you can almost hear the theme music play now, that this is your mission, should you choose to accept it. Then Paul says, because of that undeserved kindness shown to us, our mission is now to show that same kindness to all those around us. All those people you're going to meet. You're graduating to another chapter of your life. You've probably heard that phrase a lot by now. Yeah. And I think it's pretty safe to say that you're all going to go on to high school. After that, who's to say? I don't know. But with this new chapter that you're all moving into, you now all have a bigger mission than you had before. It's a mission of the highest order ever given to humanity. And it sounds kind of mission impossible, right? But to me, the rest of the phrase, should you choose to accept it, that's kind of a foregone conclusion. See, because you all have chosen this verse as your class verse, it seems to me that you've already accepted the mission. Now, even though it's the most important mission you'll ever undertake, it's also a mission that you'll have unlimited support for. It's unlike the Mission Impossible team. They were kind of on their own. Anything went wrong, that was it. Too bad for them. Your support, though, comes directly from God. He's the one sending you out on this mission of showing others the love of Christ. If I ask any of you, now I want you all to listen. I hope you can all hear me way down there on the ends. If I ask any of you right now, I'll put my mask on if you do step forward, to come to this microphone and preach a sermon right now, would you be willing to do that? I thought I might see at least one taker. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. It takes a lot of courage to stand up and to preach a sermon at the drop of a hat in front of others. And it was kind of a trick question, guys. Because the fact is, every single one of you are already skilled preachers. And you might not have even realized it. Now, perhaps not with your words. Perhaps not standing in front of large groups of people. But I've seen you interact with each other throughout this last year and the year prior and previous to that. I've seen the way you treat each other and you treat the others in the school. I've seen you lift each other up with your words, with your actions, with your attitudes. I've seen you do that. Have you ever failed? You ever ended up tearing other people down with your words or actions or attitudes? Yeah, well, we all have. It's part of being human. It happens to all of us. On the best of days, something can go wrong and we end up tearing someone down instead of building them up. But please don't beat yourselves up too much over when you do mess up. Again, it happens to all of us. When you might not show others the love of Jesus. But I've seen enough to know that your overall desire is to preach the kindness of God to others through your actions, through your words and your attitudes. You know, graduates, as you move into the larger world that you're moving into now, you're going to discover some very strange things about it. For one, it's going to become ever larger than you've ever realized it was. At the same time, it's going to seem smaller than you ever realized it was, too. That sounds a little bit like a paradox, I know, but bear with me. It's going to be larger in the sense that you're going to continue to learn new things about the world around you. Every day, you're going to learn new things about it. And you're also going to learn new things about the endless loving kindness that God pours into your lives. My one prayer for you that is always going to remain the same, no matter where you find yourselves in life or what you're doing or whatever happens, this will be one prayer that always remains the same. That you will continually discover new aspects to the love of God in your lives. That's going to be one prayer that I will always pray for you, no matter where you find yourselves or what you find yourselves doing. That prayer is going to be, I'm going to ask God that He helps you discover those new aspects so much so that you can't help but spill that love to those around you. That it just happens as an automatic thing, no matter where life takes you or where you go in this life. That right there, that's the easiest part of this mission that you have already accepted. Graduates, I hope that you live in God's love and grace so much that you just end up showing it to those around you, to everyone who crosses your path, no matter where you are. And I did say smaller too. Smaller in the sense that you will impact people with your words, with your actions, with your attitudes. And most of the people you impact, you might not ever know about. You'll impact them and you won't even realize it. But they will remember you. They'll remember your words and your actions and your attitudes. In that way, the world becomes an ever smaller place as you spread the loving kindness of God more and more. You know, the more each of you embrace this mission of influencing others towards God through your actions and your words and your attitudes, the more each of you embrace this mission, the smaller the world grows, closer and closer to the moment when Jesus comes back. Graduates, ooh, a little too hot there. I am overjoyed that you have already accepted this mission. It brings a lot of joy to my mind. You know, this mission Paul makes very clear in Romans. I wanted to give you some recognition for seeing the humility that's needed to embark on a mission like this. Knowing that we're all given God's kindness freely. Whether we deserve it or, well, we don't deserve it. And yet we're given freely God's kindness. So we can in turn give that kindness to others. Whether we think they deserve it or not, it doesn't matter. We can give it freely. Graduates, congratulations. A big congratulations. Congratulations on making it to this point in your lives. And an even bigger congratulations on deciding to accept this mission that isn't really impossible. This mission of growing the kingdom of God through spreading the love of Jesus by your actions and your words and your attitudes. And if necessary, by, preaching in front of people. But it doesn't have to happen that way. In fact, it rarely happens that way. It most often happens by the attitude you take and the actions you use with others. Graduates, I hope that you continue to preach this message that Paul speaks about in Romans 1:5. Your whole lives, preach this message with your attitudes and your actions and your words. May God bless you as you enter this new chapter of your lives.
This is the time of the program, and I actually have the real program instead of the abridged version, because I totally messed up the order, and Amy, being Amy, listening so good, heard my voice and did what I told her to. So it's not Amy's fault, it was totally mine, because if there's a way to put it out of order, I will do it. And I dropped my program earlier. So, sorry, Amy. Way to be on the ball. This is the time of the program where we take a moment to tell you how special you are. And the kids have written, it's a good thing I'm a teacher. The kids have spent some time writing about you and how much you mean to them. So kids, as you hear your voice, clearly my program is still messed up. As you hear your name, grab your flowers and you can walk back and present them to the people that are here for you today.
Darren Castagna. Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for being examples of love and care to your children. Thank you, Mom, for always being there. Thank you, Dad, for being an example of hard work and principled living. I saw that the summer I worked with you. Thank you, Mom, for making our house a home. Thank you, Mom, for always rushing out the door to greet us when we arrive for a visit. And I can see you now waving to us until we are out of each other's view. every time we have to say goodbye. Thank you for putting up with me during the difficult teen years. Thank you for being proud of me. You express that often, and it means a great deal to me. Thank you both for praying for me. I write this tribute to say a big thank you for being my parents and to say I love you. My mom is one of the most caring people I know. She has helped me through some hard times in my life. She comforts me when my ducks die. She's helped me when we had to put our dog down, and she was there for me when my grandpa passed away. She's always there for me when I need her most. She even lets me do things with my friends when she wants to do stuff with the family. When I was little, my mom gave me the best life I could ask for. Even when she gets mad, I know she still loves me, no matter how mad she is. She lets me do whatever I want to help me in my growing up. I always have to come home and do work around the house and help. This is to help me get ready for when I move out. My whole life, she has been getting me ready for when I am an adult and have my own home and family to take care of and to call my own. My mom has been teaching me basic life skills. My dad is one of the most hardworking people I know. He has always helped me with projects. He taught me how to ride a dirt bike, and he always tries to have fun. He encourages me to work for what I want. My dad has always enjoyed success in life. Having money is not what makes him happy, but rather seeing smiles on people's faces because he has helped them. He understood the joy of lifting other people up, making them smile, and leaving them changed in a positive way. He always let other people better than he finds them. He always seems to be happy. The only time I saw my dad sad was when his father passed away at the age of 61. I write this tribute to say a big thank you for being my parents and to say I love you.
Isabella Castro. There have been so many people in my life that have been there for me and loved me, but the person who impacted my life the most is you, Mommy. Ever since I was little, you have always been there for me. Now that I'm a little older, I have a better understanding of everything you did and everything you continue to do for me. You did it because you loved me. Almost every single day since I can remember, you got up, made sure I was ready for the day, and went to work. You went to work so that I could have the toys and a nice place to live. You always made sure that I had the best of everything, and I thank you for that. I remember when you would leave me at daycare before work, and I would beg you to stay and play with my friends and me. And when you couldn't stay and had to leave, I would run and get my play phone, and I'd call you. Then, when you picked me up, I was the happiest girl in the world. My favorite part of the entire day was when we would go home, get ready for bed, and you would read to me. We read countless books together. A lot of the time, it was the same book over and over and over. I also loved when you would play Barbies with me. You always made me feel loved. Sacrifices are when you give up something you have to better someone else's life. You have made sacrifices for me throughout my entire life. Most of the things you gave up meant a great deal to you, but you gave it all up for me. Some of my favorite memories I have with you are things that are very ordinary to some, but they mean a lot to me. An example would be when we would have sleepovers together. I loved it when we spontaneously decided to go to the store and buy so much junk food, knowing very well that we were going to eat it all and regret it later. And then we would come home and watch movies, and we would talk about everything going on at that moment. I love that I can tell you anything that's on my mind. Something that I will never forget are the magical birthday parties you throw for me. You remember every single little detail, and you make sure that everything is perfect. Another great memory is our trips to Mexico. We did so many fun things, like going to parties and eating amazing food and getting lost in the city, even though you still won't admit that we were lost. Thank you for always being willing to take me places, even if you don't want to go yourself. Thank you for teaching me how to do things around the house, like cook and laundry. Thank you for always putting me in fun activities. Thank you for taking me to JAMS, because I love this school and I'm really going to miss it. Thank you for helping me with my homework, even when I would come up to you late at night just to tell you what I wanted until the last possible moment. Thank you for allowing me to have a strong relationship with my cousins. Just like you, they have made a huge impact in my life. I also want to thank you for letting me get a dog when I was only 6 years old. At first, you didn't want to get one because you said you were going to be the only one taking care of it. Even though I insisted that that wasn't true, you were right. But all these years later, I've always had my furry friend by my side. I did nothing to deserve all the things you do for me, but you do it anyways. You are the strongest, most independent person I know. You never give up on anything or anyone, no matter how hard it is. And you have taught me to do the same. You have always supported me through everything in life. You stay with me when I am sick to make me get better. And you are always there to help me get back up when I fall down. You're always so proud of my accomplishments, and you make sure that I know it. You inspire me every single day to make me want to be the best version of myself. I couldn't ask for a better role model to follow. I keep talking on, but the main thing I want to tell you is that you are my best friend, and I love you so very much. I love you with my whole heart, and I'm the luckiest girl in the whole world to be able to call you my mommy. The next person I want to thank is Asmani. He's always been kind and supportive since he joined our family. He is very funny and always makes us laugh. Thank you for everything you have done for me. I think we can all agree that the sweetest, most caring people are our grandmas. My grandma is an absolute angel. Whenever I was younger, I spent almost all my free time at my grandma's house. She loves to spoil me a lot. I distinctly remember a little box full of candy that you always had under your bed. It was hidden there so that my mom wouldn't catch us eating candy. Sorry, well, not sorry, Mom. Sometimes I would spend the night at her house, and we would stay up late watching Cinderella. It was our favorite thing to watch together. And then you would make me breakfast in bed while I was getting ready for school in the morning. We always have so much fun together, whether we are shopping or going out to eat or just staying at home. Every time we went to the mall, you would take me to the Disney store to pick out a new dress for whenever we played dress up. You would always call me your princess just to make me smile. I love you so much, and I never want to stop making amazing memories with you. Lastly, I want to thank all my cousins and my friends for being with me throughout my life. I couldn't have been where I am today without your help. I especially want to thank my cousin, Luis Enrique, for being my constant companion since I was born. Even though I don't have any siblings, you are like a brother to me. We have done so many things together, like going to Disney World and sleepovers, going swimming and playing so many games of Monopoly, even though I always win. I know that I can always count on you, and I admire you for always chasing your dreams and never giving up. It is one of your many great qualities. Even though sometimes we do get annoyed with each other, I care about you so much, and I wouldn't give up all of our memories for anything in the world.
Ryla Couch. I am very grateful to my parents because they are always there for me and want me to be able to have a good life. They teach me the importance of having good manners and other things I might need in life. Both my parents are always there for me. When I need someone to talk to, I know I can turn to them. Both my parents are great cooks. When we have family gatherings and Sabbath lunch, my mom prepares the meal, so you know the food is going to be delicious. My mother is in the business of trying to make me laugh and smile. She wants to have fun. When I get hurt, she's always making sure I'm okay. When I am disobedient, my mom disciplines me. She's always willing to take me to a friend's house or to someplace fun. She is very chill and relaxed. We can just sit and talk sometimes, and it's fun. My mom has taken me to some very cool places that most people don't get to go. I usually put up a fuss about going, but she insists on my participation because she knows what's best for me. She always takes pictures of me even though I do not like it. I just grin and bear it, waiting for it to be over, quick. My mother also pays for my piano lessons so I can get better at playing the piano. She also pays for my summer camp so I can have a week-long load of fun. Every year, she takes me up to Arkansas and we stay at my aunt's house. We go to camp meetings, which is always fun because there are a lot of people to play with. My mom has also taken me on multiple trips to various countries like Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Kenya, and India. When we're in those countries, we usually work on construction sites, building schools or churches. We tend to spend more time together during those mission trips than during normal everyday life because I'm usually at school for most of the day. Occasionally, we'll watch a movie together and spend a little time together. I'm very grateful for my mom. She's the best mom I could ever ask for. My dad, he's super cool. He's fun to be around and we can talk about bikes and other cool stuff. He has pushed me to be faster and stronger and has taught me lots of things. He will watch TV and movies with me and we chill together. He rides bikes with me and will take me places to ride bikes and pay for me to be able to ride at certain places. He spends lots of money on bikes for me. My dad, like my mom, is a great cook. And he comes up with the best food ideas like pizza bagels, breakfast pizza, and other kinds of pizza. He's always making something delicious for dinner and bringing soda to Sabbath lunch so we can have something to drink other than water. My dad also is very good at fixing things and getting to the bottom of a problem. My dad teaches me how to work on bikes. It is awesome when we work together fixing my broken bikes. My dad has taken me on a few trips to ride bikes and meet some of his side of the family that I don't really know that well. He took me and my brother and I on a super fun biking road trip through New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, and into Idaho. During that time, we rode at 3 different bike parks and drove thousands of miles and listened to lots of music. He has taken my brother and I to many states to ride bikes or meet some of his family, and during the drive, we spend lots of time singing along to music. We usually just have a great time on those trips. Most of my time I spend with my dad. We're either watching movies or TV shows or riding bikes. My dad is very good at riding wheelies, and he is trying to teach me how to, and I'm very grateful for that. He also bought me an Xbox so I can play video games when I'm bored or with my friends whenever they come over. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all that you do for me.
Ivy Dyke. Mom, you are my best friend. You make me laugh almost every day, and without you, I don't know where I would be. I can always talk to you about drama that happens or when boys are being stupid. You always put others before yourself, and when someone asks a favor of you, you are always willing to help. You are the kindest person I know, and the kindest person I think I'll ever know. Your parents raised you so well, and you are doing the same for me and Judah. You're such a special person and always know how to make me feel better. I love it when you tell me stories about when you were in high school, and even after that, and I can only hope that my life gets to be half as exciting. I love you more than I can say, and I hope that you know that. Dad, you are so talented in everything you do. You have taught me to love music and have inspired me to write my own songs too. You taught me and my brothers right from wrong. You learned from the mistakes you made and tried to teach us to not make the same ones. Your view of the world is different from most people, and that is why you are so creative. You are such an interesting person, and there is always more to know about you. I look up to you a lot. I am so happy that I have you in my life. You and Mom want us to be happy and to grow up in a good home because you love us and you are the best parents. My brother Judah, you're a crazy kid. I would have been so lonely without you. You are so stubborn, and we fight all the time, and then we talk an hour later like nothing happened. We play video games and draw together, and I'm so happy to have you. You write your own amazing stories and draw your own characters. You have crazy ideas and inventions that you think up in your head. You want to be an amazing builder like our dad, and no doubt you are going to be a natural. You are so funny, and I love you always being here so that we can hang out all the time and just be ourselves. If anything ever happens to you, I don't know what I would do. I love you. Grandparents, Grandpa, you are so strong in the faith of God, and you inspire me to be more excited about God coming back and to be a better Christian. You keep focused on the things that matter, everyone being saved, and I admire that about you. Grandma, you make the holidays the best. You always make sure that everyone is happy, even if it really stresses you out. You want everything to be perfect and for everyone to have a good time. You give us so much, and so much to the church, just so much in general, and you don't expect anything in return. I love you both so much. Thank you for everything you have done for me. Family, you know what you are doing, and I love you guys.
Cooper Harbor. Ah, yes, parent tributes. Where to begin? My parents are awesome, and I've always and have always helped me through some of the hardest times I've had and more that are yet to come. They've pulled me out of the abyss of despair too many times to count. They are kind and caring, and I love them for that. But they are also very strict and are not afraid to enforce any of the rules that our house has. There is also one rule in our house that my mom is constantly breaking, and that is, we are not accepting any more pets. They are smart and intelligent, not the pets, but parents. They are smart and intelligent and always help me find the best and most efficient way to complete a task or assignment. They never let me stop halfway through and stick with me until the end of an assignment. One of the most important things that they are always teaching me is that honesty is the best policy. I know that sounds cliche, but it really is true. Many times I have found that honesty saved my life many times. My parents and my siblings have some fun times together. Like a few years ago, before my sister was born, my family and I went to Disneyland. We have also been to many different rivers and creeks and have explored the ups and downs and every which ways of all of them. My parents have done everything that is in their power to make sure that I do the best I can on everything and that I have even a small amount of fun doing it. I love my parents for everything they have done for me. I would also like to thank my brother and sister for being there for me too, no matter how irritating and annoying you guys can get.
Miguel Mendoza. I thank my dad for everything he has done for me. He has always been there for me. Whenever I have trouble in understanding something, he will help me understand. And it is not just classwork, but he helps me with my spiritual life and daily life too. My dad also reminds me to not do anything that is not right or that there will be consequences. He does not say that he will decide the consequences, but that I will receive one anyway. Since I was little, my dad taught me the ways of right and wrong. He also taught me how to distinguish the difference between right and wrong. But I did not listen every single time. He has a lot of patience, and so I thank him for that. He is also a hard worker and a good example to me. Even in doubt, I could always rely on him to do everything in his power to help me. My dad is also a very caring parent. I can trust him with anything. Even through this coronavirus, my dad has kept us active. Plus, he tells my siblings and I jokes that make us laugh and riddles that are hard for us to solve. Nobody can replace my dad. I love him so. Another key person in my life is my grandmother. She helps me with a lot of things that I need to work on. She has helped me to keep healthy and helped me not to get sick. And if I do get sick, she helps me to get better. And by just spending time with my grandmother, I can learn something new that is happening in the world. She is also very supportive of everything that I do. And if I do something wrong, she will help me get out of that mess. My grandmother is a key player in my spiritual life. She helps me understand many things that are written in the Bible and in Ellen G. White's books. She also takes care of me and my siblings most of the day. She also understands a lot of my problems, and she can relate to most of our problems and gives us advice on what to do. Even if she can't relate to our problems, she tells us what she would do and gives us some good advice. She also cooks really well, and I love her for all that she has done for me. Another key person in my life is my grandfather. He is always full of facts and he is encouraging. And if he finds something cool, he will show my siblings and I. He is also willing to drive me anywhere that I need to be. My grandfather also helps me in my spiritual life. And whenever my grandmother is busy, he will take care of us. When my grandfather takes me somewhere, we get into deep conversations. Sometimes it's just about random things. He is also very active. He walks around and works around his house. He also tells us stories and experiences that he has had growing up. Some of his stories and experiences weren't good, but I have learned something from these stories and experiences. We fall, we must learn how to pick ourselves up again, and that we must learn from all of our mistakes. Whenever we call my grandparents, my grandfather starts the conversation by asking, "Are you wiser today?" And I would answer yes. The reason I was wiser was because of my dad and my grandparents. They have played an important role in my life, and I love them. Even though my dad and grandparents are role models for me, there are other people in my family that have helped me get here today. First of all, my aunts and uncles on my dad's side of the family are really supportive. And whenever I feel bad, they know how to make me laugh. They also sing really well and help me whenever I need help. My aunts and uncles on my mom's side of the family are really creative, and they play lots of sports, and they help me not to be lazy. They also sing really well. They are also really funny and supportive, and all of my cousins are fun to be around, and we do crazy things, and most of the time it is a really good way to pass the time. My siblings are also really fun, and even though they can be annoying, without any of my family, I wouldn't be here today. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys have done for me. I love you all very much.
Nolan Sinclair. Dad. My dad is so funny and loves to make me laugh. The food he makes is good, but the way he makes it and what he puts in it, that is what I like. He works hard to give us a nice warm house. He is very nice and will play games with me and my siblings. He will help me with my homework when he can. Once I lost my favorite hat, and he helped me find it. Another time, I asked for a camel pack, and he went out of his way to ask around for one. He also let me try shooting his .300 blackout, which was very cool. With my dad and one of my sisters, we went to a military base and were able to see a real military operation and real tank. We saw some tanks in a mortar and were able to chamber it without a shell. It was very cool and fun. He will go out of his way to make us good food and make us laugh. My dad is very funny and silly with all the stories he tells us. Mom. I love when she watches our show and we can have fun watching whatever shows together to make us laugh. Also, when she goes out of her way to make me happy, like getting me the little things that I want, or wash my favorite blanket just to make me happy. She works hard at her 12+ hour shifts to have a nice warm house for my family. She works hard, then goes to bed, only to get up and do it all over again. If I have some homework or a project I need to do, she will gladly help me do it even after her tiring day of work, just so I can get good grades. Once I had a project I needed to do and she was tired because she had just worked 3 12-hour shifts. But when she got home from work, she helped me with my project and I got an A. She would take me and my crazy group of friends on a field trip so we could all have fun together, and she knows that that makes me happy. Also, when she would make my favorite meal, wash my favorite blanket, and we would watch Star Wars together and have a good time. When we went to Ohio to see our Uncle Jim for his birthday, it was just the two of us, but we had a blast. He would tell us about his service in World War II, and it was really interesting. My favorite night there was when we ordered from Olive Garden and then went to Toys R Us for the last time before it closed. We got a few cool toys and an explosive thing. Then we went to the hotel and ate our Olive Garden and watched The Incredibles. We had a blast and learned so much about my uncle. We also got to see his uniform and have excellent food. The trip was an overall good time, and seeing family made it even better. I am most thankful that she works hard to put me in a good Christian school, gives me a good home, and helps me with whatever I need. She will take my family and I on fun trips or work hard to get us special things. She works hard to make each of us feel special and happy. My mother does so much for us and helps us with our work in hard times and comforts us when we need it. She does everything we need and more. She would go to the ends of the earth to make us happy. She gives us so much love and shows us how to live a good, healthy, safe life. She has taught us about God, about the importance of loving Him and the importance of worship. She works hard to help our relationship with God grow. Thank you.
Kevin Smith. I appreciate you, Mom, because you try to teach me how to be a gentleman, and you are always kind and loving. Also, you are always teaching me how to do things like sewing and doing puzzles. Thank you also for teaching me how to do finances so I can save my money. Furthermore, thank you for not letting me cheat my big sister out of her money, even if she agreed to do it. Moreover, I thank you for being the mom I always needed. When I felt depressed or when I got mad at someone, you would always calm me down. Thank you as well for trying to do the best for me, even sometimes I didn't like it. Thank you, Mom, for taking me to the Grand Canyon and going on hikes with me all over the Grand Canyon. Thank you for teaching me how to throw a bale of hay properly so I would not break myself trying to throw them. Thank you for taking me to Gentry, Arkansas, where we went to Eli's house and rode the four-wheelers with his kids and with you. That was a lot of fun, and thank you for always being there for me whenever I needed you. I appreciate you, Dad, because you teach me how to work and do stuff outside, like how to cut down a tree and how to weed eat properly. Also, thank you for teaching me how to build fires and make shelters out of the stuff around you. Moreover, thank you for teaching me to be a Christ-like young man and for being a good example of how to live my life on a walk with Jesus. Furthermore, thank you for helping me to find a good deal on tools and for taking me mountain biking and teaching me how to do it even though I was on a really bad bike. Also, thank you for always being willing to teach me how to do something, like how to sharpen a knife or how to fix the tractor. Thank you for taking me to all the national parks from Texas to California and in letting me do dangerous stuff at each one, like hanging off the side of a 600-foot cliff. What is more, is you told me that if I fell, then I should aim for the pool that I saw at the bottom. You have gone over and above. Thank you for always being there for me, even when you did not feel so good, like when your parents died. I also want to thank my Aunt Leilani and Uncle Richard, my Uncle Nathan. I've learned a lot from you guys. I would also like to thank all of my cousins for teaching me how to be a good person. Furthermore, I especially want to thank my sister for dealing with me for her entire life. Also, to all my teachers, I know that I can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but thanks for putting up with me.
Amy Watts. Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for always being there for me when I need you most. Even though I can be hard to deal with most of the time, I know you still love me no matter what I do. You might be frustrated with me, and I know that I'm the one who causes you the frustration. Thank you for giving up your time to help me with my homework and teaching me how to treat others. Also, thank you for giving me a chance at an Adventist education. I know you could have sent me anywhere else, but you sent me here, and I'm glad for it. Dad, thank you for teaching me about the wonders of history, as well as teaching me how to advocate for myself. I may not always say it all the time, but I am extremely thankful. I'm especially grateful for you helping me deal with my vision and being my eyes when I need it, even though sometimes I don't think I need you to. Also, thank you for the time you took out of the last 4 years to take me to PBE practice and competition. I know you would rather do a lot of other things on your Sabbath afternoons. You still let Jenna and I do it. Mom, thank you for giving me opportunities to try new things and for teaching me the morals to live by. I know I might not show it, but I'm grateful for all you do, especially for giving up your time to take me to many events and for Pathfinders and gymnastics. I'm also grateful to you for spending long hours to help me study for school as well as for PBE, though I protest. Thank you for helping me with my albinism and how to understand it. One of my favorite trips with you both was when we went to Hawaii when I was 9. I especially enjoyed going all over the island where we stayed with Aunt Angel and Uncle Ben. I believe one of our favorite places was at the Dole Plantation kissing pineapples. I remember me attempting to snorkel, and the only fish I saw was one that was dark and should have blended in with the coral. It was an amazing trip, and somehow I ended up being the only one without getting a sunburn during that trip. Thank you, Nana and Papa Clapp, for teaching me how to be creative and what I should fill my time doing. Also, thank you for showing me ways to do baking, carvings, and crafts that I have enjoyed. Also, thank you, Auntie Leilani, for taking care of me since I was a baby and dealing with me. I know I was a handful. Finally, thank you, Nana, Sherry, and Papa Joe for taking care of me and supporting me through the past few years.
Normally, we have special visitors from CTA and from Burton who come to tell you how wonderful you are and give you some money. But they were not able to come today because we have limited people that are allowed to come. But they send their well wishes, and there are 2 individuals especially that need to be recognized with a valedictorian award from both CTA and Burton, Isabella Castro. With a salutatorian award from both CTA and Burton, Ryler Couch. The rest of the students do have some money coming, and it should be mailed to you, and that will come sometime this week, we hope, but they have sent it out to the rest of the students as congratulations for doing such a wonderful job. There are a few people that we need to thank this evening. Long before we knew that we would be able to have a graduation, Mark Miosi was on the phone talking to me, saying, hey, what can we do for graduation? And we have been working on this for quite some time. So Theron and Ivy, if you'll just come on over here, and I'm going to send you different directions. But Mark has been working on this for a while. We tried to decide, are we going to show slides? How are we going to do this? What is our sound system going to look like? And we really appreciate all the effort that he put in getting ready for this program. And so if you would take that back to him. Thank you. Having an extensive list of rules that I had to go through and all sorts of things to manage, I neglected to take care of this one, but right on the spot, ready to go, last minute, Rodney Stowell came and gave of his time and put this online so that everyone who isn't able to be here could see it. And so thank you very much. We have one person that always goes the extra mile for us. She measures the kids for their robes. She comes and takes care of flowers. She does all the little odd jobs that help make the program run smooth. And we really appreciate all that she does, Mrs. Omaira Cuellar. And two individuals we're going to thank in advance, because they are going to be a part of some of the activities that we're going to have going on throughout the summer for the kids, and the big send-off to high school, and the party that we're going to have in August when we're allowed to do things together again, and that is Harold Smith and Cynthia Harbor. So Cynthia's right here, and Harold's down there. Right here. We're excited. We're going to have a banquet for them in August and send them off in style. Graduates, as we prepare to present your diplomas, you may take your masks off. Presenting the diplomas this evening is our school board chairman, Mr. David Diaz. And we're just going to work our way down the row, and parents, if you want to move forward to take a picture, feel free to do that now. As I call your name, please stand. Amy Watts. Ivy Dyke. Theron Castagna. Isabella Castro. Hang on just a second, he's going to get the camera over. Cooper Harbor. Nolan Sinclair. Miguel Mendoza. Kevin Smith. Ryler Couch. I'd like to present to you the graduating class of 2020.
Please stand for benediction and please put on your protective masks. Dear Lord, thank you for this glorious day and for my classmates. Thank you for supporting us this far in our lives. I pray that you continue to help us become good individuals. Thank you, Lord, for our families who have supported us along this journey. Please continue to be with us on our journey towards high school, towards college, and our future. Lord, we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you all for coming this evening. And graduates, grab all your stuff and head for your cars.